So it starts off on kind of a D minor shape without being fully a D minor. It's just the second fret of the G string and the third fret of the B string, and you hit the these strings here like, and then you cycle through them from the B string up to the D string. So it'll be, and then after you cycle through, you would pull off, let it ring out, but pull off on the third fret of the B string to the first. So and you do kind of a half bar when you're doing that with your first finger, and it's going to hit the first fret of the high E string. You know, back with these 2 times on the B string and then hit this. So it'll be, real simple. And then you take the low E string, is going to slide up from the second fret to the third, so it'd be, and it's going to cycle back through with these open strings here. You got your G and your I think D string open, so it'd be, I'm sorry, it'd be, so slide from the second to the third, open G, D, G, and then back to D. So then you take your A string open, hammer on the third, and slide up to the fifth. And then, so then you, once you do that, you move your D shape to here, is what I like to do. You could always just go, you could always just go back that way, but I like to go. So from the beginning, it would be, you know, you cycle back through your D shape, and then you would go, you hammer back on the low E third fret. I'm sorry. You cycle back through the open G and D strings with the bass. So slide to the fifth fret of the low E string, and then you go, you do the second fret of the G string. It would be the A note with a kind of a half bar. You let that ring out, and then you slide up to the fifth fret of the D string. So it would be, so that's just the fifth fret of the D string, eighth fret of the B string, third fret of the D string, and I guess it's the shoot, blank it out here, sixth fret of the B string, and then you just open A, slides up to the fifth, and goes back to D again. So from the beginning, real slow, it would be. After that, all those licks, you just do the third fret of the A string and then an open D, and go right back to your D shape. That'll do it right again for you. You basically do that for all the verses. That's it. Don't forget the And I know there's different ways to do this. Some people like to start here, and some people like to do the part. There, I mean, it's the guitar. There's 100 different ways to play it, but that's how I would do it. And that covers most of the verses. Of course, there's little licks in there, like in the beginning, they got the that's just a, I guess that would be a C to a D, and then an A, kind of power chords. You know, you can listen, and you know, Gary's in the background over the verses, you know. So just play with it, man. I mean, it's fun. It's pretty simple once you get it down. It just takes a little while. All right, moving on to the rest of the song. Alright, so this is the background of the solo as well as the verse. I didn't figure out the verse part exactly, or I'm sorry, the chorus part exactly, but you know, use your ear. It's something like kind of like double stopped on the G and B string of the 5th and 7th fret, and then the 10th and 12th, and then you add a little bit of 14th. Actually, it might have a little bit of the D string in there too. Yeah, it does. So, you know, play with it. I just figured out a little bit more of it right there. So use your ear and you'll figure out, you know, what sounds right to you. As far as the background of the solo, it kind of reminds me of Give Me 3 Steps. It's something like, uses some double stops. It's like, something like that. I was a little more focused on learning the solo and the you know, main verse part of this song, but it looks like it's sounds kind of like it's a double stop of the 7th fret on the D and G string. Then you go back to the 9th of the D string, and I'm sorry, the A string. And then you kind of take the 10th fret of the G string to the 9th fret of the G string and the 7th fret. 10, 9, 7, 9 of the D, and then you slide up to the 12th kind of half bar, or whatever you call that, double stop of the 12th fret of the D and G string. And then the lick there is 12. So that's 12, 14, 12, 12, 14, 12, 14, 12. On the A string and the D string. Then back to the 7th. Then you do like an A, kind of like an A with your first finger, and it's the 3, 4 on the A string, then 4 on the D string, and 3, 4 on the A string. It would be. You know, so play with it. It'll sound right. That's the gist of it, though.